Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to my channel, Joy to the World. I am your reader, Melissa Joy. And I gotta tell you, you're a straight shooter. Like, you shot them out when I finished doing the other readings, and then it's like, stop, collaborate and listen. Actually, it's like, stop, leave it there. We'll get back to this. And I'm like, what? So I didn't even look at them. I'm like, okay, they said put it in a straight line. It's been sitting here. Well, interesting thing is I found this in our little donation box at whatever the little hub center where I live, where people pick up their mail and do laundry. And people leave books there. You can change them out, you can take one, you can leave one, you can whatever you want to do. And it's pretty interesting because Virgo has had to have an arse that's tight like that for a really long time. And a mouth that's tight like this for a really long time. Doing what's right, doing what's good, doing what's in the best interest, and really taking on a lot of pressure. So it was funny before I went to work, which has been extra challenging lately with the, pardon the face, kidney pain. It's like giving birth out of the center of your back. Oh my God. But so I was like, crop this open and take a quick peek before you go. It's pretty funny because it plays into your reading. So I was like, okay, what message do you want to give me? Because you can look inside, see how brief and short each one is. And they're not labeled categories, anything like that. It says 3,299 tips, quotes, reminders, and wake-up calls for peace and serenity. Well, since it says so, then it must mean it's true. So the one I flipped open to and my eyes landed straight on it said, learn to be centered enough to just watch internal disturbances come up. Are you willing? I know you're well able. I have a Virgo midheaven. I understand. And so it's like it's my calling in life to always be the bigger person, be tolerant, be accepting, be kind, be whatever. Now, I am that of people's personality and individuality, but when it comes to shizdizzery, that's where the handle's finally starting to fly a little loose. And they're saying, don't let it go, Joy. They're saying, let it fly. Are you ready to let it fly, friend? I hope so, because it's been shocking and liberating all at the same time. So let me finish this up. Do not fight the release of stored energy. See the feeling or thought, let it happen, then release and let it go. Let your body and mind purge an internal disturbance. And what it's saying is let yourself be natural. Let it occur, let it happen, because the kindest gifts and the kindest balance isn't always just the one way that we see it. Like, that's where Spirit was provoking me and pushing me to start sharing the fugly stuff in my life. And I'm like, why is this becoming about me? We're just sitting here doing tarot, encouraging people or whatever, and they're like, you need to encourage them. I'm like, why is telling people my crap and the failures and whatever else was going wrong, how is that beneficial? But several people made comments and wrote in saying that it has liberated them, that it's really helped them, that it's making a difference in the struggle that they're going through. So that's when life was like, hey, encouragement has many flavors, many colors. So to the letting it fly. All right, friend, are you ready? So, okay, the car I have now is a Kia Soul. And I used to have a Toyota Highlander, which is a lot longer and larger. And I was more cash, more at ease going on in that. But you put me in a little car, which is what I'd have most of my life. And people start acting crazy. I'm going to speak up now. And that little horn, I have not tooted a horn this much since I think I was 16 years old. And as you can tell, that's been a sweet minute, okay? So I am driving across town today, and we have this one area where it tunnels down, and it's a very dangerous area. There are just inches on either side of each vehicle, so you just need to keep going and roll on through. There's no time to be rubbernecking. Well, this person in front of me, when we started getting down to that area, they were already going 20, and I'm like, surely they're going to pick up speed. No, they just flat out stop under the bridge. The trestle. Seriously. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell? What the blippity? What the flip flop? Whatever. And meanwhile, my insides are like, yeah, oh, go chill, let it go, girl. This is fun. This is good. Because it wasn't so much anger as it was intensity just coming out of like, if you want to get hit, that's your problem. But you're not about to stop me up where all these cars behind me are screeching and their faces look like this as they're coming to a stop. And I'm like, bah, bah, bah. And they're turning around looking at me, and I'm thinking, you're in the middle of a road. There's not even a stop sign for like 3,000 more feet. Get going. And then they're still putter along 15 after that. And I'm like, at least you got out of the way to where I would have somewhere that I could go if a car is about to ram me. Because my dad taught me when I was growing up that you're the only good driver on the road. Meaning, just like here it is in life, maybe why you have this straight shooter, right? Is you're truly the only one you can count on, and you're truly the only one you should be counting on. Now, we can recruit and ask for help when we need it, especially from friends and family, but and loved ones. But it's just that a lot of times, so much of our life should be within our scope and within our measure. But we've been through this era where it stretch and expand, especially Virgo, which is the virgin and the helper of others. Assist, help, come along. And even when you're finally getting in your lane going, I'm going to finally get to me. Somebody comes along, hey, could you? And you're like, sure. Okay. Doesn't seem to be a big ask. It's not what I want. It totally rerouted my plans, but hey. Well, those are some of the things that might start screaming inside of you, okay? So you're apparently getting an Aries warning shot from the Aries North Node because Chiron is right up in the middle of Aries right now. So it is coming to a harsh, strong center point. There are ripples and shockwaves and things that each person's kind of being hit at different times, kind of like in those bouncy houses. You know, everybody's kind of bumping around popcorn depending on where you are and who you're near, when you're landing or whatever. We're popping off at different times, right? So that's some of the pop-off that's going off right now, and they need you to release that pressure, whatever it is. It may not be like that. It may be going to a sporting event and getting to shout for your team. Do you know what I mean? But in my case, there's been a lot of really just having people put me in dangerous or difficult situations consciously. I'm not talking just these drivers, right? That's irrelevant. But putting me in those situations and me biting it down and biting it down, B-I-D, waiting. Biting it down and holding it back and transmuting, blah, 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 surviving to get through. My body's like, no more survival. That's some 9-inch nails for you right there. I think that's what Trent Reznor was looking at. No more survival. Why? Because I am up above it. That is right. We're not in that plane or that dimension anymore. No more of the friggin' karma. No more about it being about others and making the whole world go around and let me rub your shoulders and they'll rub the shoulders of the one in front of them and in front of them. But what happens when there's nobody behind me? You see? So it's like, get in y'all showbiz, friend. That's the biz they want you in, is y'all showbiz. And that seems to be working out for you because ladder, climbing towards success, is showing up here. It's so liberating to honk your horn. And then it happened again. Okay, I'm weaving in and out, friend. As I was going to work, there's a toll booth. Again, narrow chambers, nowhere to go. Everyone's flying along, going along because it's not a stop toll, it's a toll by plate. Zipping along, 25 miles an hour, you zip through here and then you pick back up speed. And here's somebody. Both of these are Florida plates, friend. Okay? That's what's crazy. And so they slow down and come to a complete halt in the middle of that area. And I have no way to get out and around. And cars, of course, are right up behind me, and I'm like, what? I'm like, get your car moving, people. Can't you read the signs? Don't you know what's up there? Now, y'all would enjoy this if you knew. I don't know if I've done that in my life ever. Not even like up here. Not even zip the lips and do, nope, just literally like, there's room for everybody in the world. It's all okay. Not everybody knows the right thing. Excuse. I'm like the hall monitor, right? And passes. Blah, 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 blah. That ain't it anymore, my friend. Because all this kidney disturbance in my energy is telling me it's being squandered for people who don't give a damn and they don't change and they don't learn and they don't grow. Am I impacting them? Somewhat. You know? Better a horn laying on their tail than somebody smashing right into them. You know, pay attention to the area around you. So irregardless, point is just like it was talking about here, letting that energy come out instead of repressing and suppressing it. Yes, they may not like you as much the next day. They may give you the side eye for a minute. They might try and gather friends and start gossiping and rustling some little rumors about you. But the truth is, everyone knows how great you are and how much love you share and sacrifice and whatever else. And the thing is, they're kind of upset. They're kind of bothered that something might upset the cookie cart, meaning, oh, we can't just roll everything over onto Lucy or over onto Nancy or over onto Fred or over onto Rhonda or whoever. You see what I'm saying? They're going, What are we going to do here? It says snuggle, snuggle, snark, 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 snark. Okay. Well, they're letting their mouth run, right? Okay. So speak up for your truth, and sometimes that is quiet and it's all action. Other times it might be a little venting like what I was doing, right? Keeps the rice from boiling over, doesn't it? Keeps it from making a mess. That's why I was sharing my message of love with these people. And I'm like, oh, that does feel good. Now, my dad, not a gun road rager, but oh my God, he could pop tires with his words. He is full on Scorpio. Samurai swordsman, you blippity flappity flop, calling every name. He gives them the proper English names too, and then curses them out and whatever else. Just the whole big deal. And he'll snarl at him when he goes by him and all that. And a lot of my repression came from growing up under such a jaundiced Scorpio. His dad left him when he was 4 and left him in the same town for another woman. Okay. And that is in the era where dads went to the PTA meetings. Dads came to the games. There was no dad anymore. He left the whole family. So my dad kind of has a little bit of this, but instead of realizing he is up above it and not having to play into that, but also realizing I am as well. Just because I grew up in a certain scenario, just like he grew up in a scenario that provoked that, doesn't mean that I should abstain from any balance in my life, okay? We've talked about that seesaw where like over responsibility and laziness here, right? It takes 2 of them to play. But we're here to be in Life University and be liberated from that. Be able to enjoy the full spectrum and let those recipes and ingredients max out, mix up, match up to whatever our moment is. Whatever the moment is calling for, whatever it requires, whatever phos, at P-H-O-S, phos, that Hebrew word, that special power, not us dumbing it down or mending it or altering it or whatever else, because then that cuts it off and that's in vain. It will have no fruit. It'll bear consequences, but not fruit, friend. And you are blessed. So let's get you in that fruit. Let's get you in your truth. Let's get you liberated and set you free. Because you know what? When they start all sniggly, snarkling or whatever in the office break room, give them 5-6 days, maybe even 5 weeks. Guess what? During that time, you don't have to do everybody else's project. And then because they're going to make a point to give you their eyes and let you see them all like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're going to make sure, but that's the other insurance policy you have right there, friend. First of all, they're not going to be bothering you for a while. And then when they do, they're going to have to come back knowing that they've done that. But that's that thing, is they would so much rather come back. And that's when you can listen to the apology, if there is one. If somebody owns their behavior and their responsibility, wow, power growth point. That's true Virgo-ness right there. That's really your calling in this world, is to just live your life and be true to who you are. And when people start trying to assume and get up on your space and your business and whatever, and people, no. And it's like, y'all aren't my friends anyway because you take advantage of me. So when they shun you and they do all this stuff, and then one comes creeping on back of like, oh, your outfit sure looks pretty today, and they try and play it nice to smooth it over and then slip a little request your way. Playing nice is not ownership, friend. That's called being played, okay? And nice, when you look at it, is a pretend word anyway. So let's get up into your carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. And I would do declare it would be both. Somebody might want to watch the original Robin Hood cartoon, the Walt Disney one. But anyways, it's really talking about what a difference that makes, that progress that it makes. It takes you on to this, remember, I'm up above it, this new path, this King's Highway, where you're not having to go through that shiz-dizzery anymore. Because if you look, that is some nasty old fugly-tastic earwig. Who wants to deal with any of that crap anyway? Because the fact that you're often in that dynamic of people asking you and assuming and roping you in and putting you in difficult situations, or you getting mad at yourself for having allowed it to happen, or feeling really good and kind of offering it up because you know you usually do have any of that cursory crappity stuff, okay? Any of that stuff, it creates a lot of headspace, a lot of ear noise, like the earwig, those things, those suggestions, those obligations, the busy mind, And that's not what you're here for. You're here for showbiz, my friend. Straight on up that ladder, that DNA that needs no interpretation. You know who you are. And that's the beauty of it. And it gives you that moment of clarity when you create that space, when this ripple, when that moment occurs, when you're, what did it say? When you learn to be centered enough to just watch internal disturbances come up, don't fight the release of stored energy. So beware some who might have taken advantage of you long and strong for a really long, long time, right? If there doesn't become some sort of little skirmish right there. And anybody gonna die, none of those are piercing anything right there. And it's just an earwig anyway, okay? That's the thing that's hindering that person's growth. And it's not your job to point it out or whatever, but it's your job when it comes to you to be like, oh, wow. I appreciate that you revere my talents so highly as to want to pass your work off onto me. But I've got plenty right now. Thank you. Or, oh, wow. That's interesting that you would ask me to do that for you. I'm busy, thanks. Do you see what I mean? Dog. Protection from a powerful friend. All right. So if you were wondering, this is solid, sound advice, my friend. This is not the dog that's going to bite you. This is the dog that is on your side, your companion. Like I said, not having to spread words or whatever. You just keep it where it's at. And that will put people in a place that they don't quite know what to do with that. Because when you don't attach an explanation or an excuse to it, because an excuse is a written explanation. It's like, here, let me give you the details of why I should be still seen as a good person, but also be able to reject you taking advantage of me. You see what I mean? I've had a lot of this teaching myself, the learning of this experience myself coming to me of like, oh, wow. When you put it in those terms, it does make a lot of sense. And you happen to have 2 time cards coming up, July to October. This might have been a really intense season for you right now, and it might also be one where you walk alone. But there's strong benefit in that. Why? Because it's showbiz, my friend. We in the money. Because you know what? That's not what you're thinking about. The way money grows is when you think about your vision, yours, your heart. That's why so many things have been backburnered or constricted or restricted to get rid of some explosions. Maybe you're going to belt out some opera. I don't know. But climbing towards success. And this, it's almost like an elevator, because this is like a roller coaster more than it is something that you got to do this. You're like, because I see you just going, remember the carriage, right? It's going up here. It's like going, and you're arriving at the next level of the, what did Elf go through? The candy cane forest. Well, imagine that you're at like Candy Cane Saks Fifth Avenue and you're going up through the levels of the store and you're like, oh, we got smoothies over here. Okay, I'm gonna pull off here for a minute. Oh, we got leggings up there. Oh, I wanna go up there for a minute. Do you see what I mean? Your vision, this lightheartedness, this joy, not this bereavement, this grief. Because I tell you, friend, you do see them clearly and you do know. And you've been putting out for a long, hard minute. That's why you keep doing it, because you don't want to see, feel, or know those things about them. Now, let me tell you, friend, it is not the person. They're the vessel. And it's what they're choosing to dance with and to engage with and to infect you with. That's all. Okay? Now, no one can infect you. You have to allow them, invite them in, give them permission, avail yourself to them in that way. So, but look at this, so easy. And I love that you got the card there, journey, either physical or mental, and it is both. It is both here in the spiritual realm and in the earth realm. So watch you start sleeping better. Watch you stop having to use your energy to hold off all these swords and all this mind noise going on around you. Well, point of that is, Virgo, I am excited for you. I am excited for you. If you're excited for you, put some thumbs up, put some loves, put some sunshines, put some butterflies, put some roses, whatever down there, the chocolates. Don't they have chocolates? They should. Put some treats down there for yourself, because it's time for you, friend. You're not going to be lonely or alone. Let me tell you, it's going to be delicious and divine, and you're going to start to soothe into this, and it'll make it so much easier to notice when things start trying to cross it again. You'll be like, I don't, that's not the reputation I want. People want to judge me because I know who I am and what I'm here for, where I'm going. It's all right. I won't be around them for too long. Isn't that fantastic, Virgo? would you do me a favor and tap that like button? I would appreciate it so much. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments down below. You could also subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here. All right, I love you. Bye.